Hello everyone, welcome back to our Basics of Accounting with accu360 ERP series. Today we will learn how to pass a journal entry in accu360 ERP. We have prepared a case study for this purpose where we have incorporated various transactions to understand every document. So let's just see our case study first. Here in this case study we have three transactions for journal entry. First one is Mr. A and Mr. B started the company by bringing in 10 lakh as capital. In the first transaction, we can see that the owner started a business by bringing in the capital of rupees 10 lakh. Please note that we will not discuss the shares and its management in this video. For that, we will bring another series of video on the share management only. Now, as we have altogether new company, we would be requiring masters or we can say ledgers to pass this entry. Okay. So now just move on to the software and see how we will pass this journal entry. So now let's just open the charts of account. Here, according to our case study, we need to create two ledgers, one Mr. A's capital ledger and another Mr. B's capital ledger. So we'll just click on the expand all, and in the sources of fund we can see the capital account, and here we will create Mr. A's capital and Mr. B's capital by clicking on add child. Now another of Mr. B's capital. Now click on the edit option to define the type of account. So it is an equity, so we will click on equity and then click on this right tick and then save. Okay, then we will click on chart of accounts, then we will change the Mr. B also, the edit. Here in the account type we will define equity and then on right tick, and then we will again click on chart of accounts. For detailed explanation of creation of chart of accounts in accu360 ERP, check out our chart of accounts video. Now let's go back to home. Now to pass a journal entry, we have to open the accounting module, and in accounting module we can see the journal ledger. Here in journal ledger we have to click on journal entry. Here in the list view we can see all the entries passed by our company. But as we have a new company and no entries have been passed, we can see the list view is empty. Now click on this plus icon to create a new journal entry. Here please note that the user must have basic knowledge of journal and Rules of accounting. Here we can also see the entry type. Here, entry types are used to define the type of an entry. As this entry involves cash, we will select the cash from entry type. It automatically added a cash column which we are about to pass as we need two columns of Mr. A and Mr. B's capital first and then a cash column. We will delete this by clicking on this tick and then this cross button. Now select the account which is Mr. A's capital. Then here add amount which is 5 lakh. Then click on this plus button to add another row. Here write Mr. B's capital and we need the amount in the credit side, so we will just backspace this amount and we will add the amount in the credit side. Now we will again click on this plus button and here we will add the cash account. Here we can see that it automatically filled into the debit amount to match the entry. We can also see other options like reference number, reference date, and user remarks. We can fill these for our administration purpose. Here we can also see the finance book and branch. Finance book is used where we maintain more than one set of books of accounts. But as we are maintaining only one set of book of account, we do not have to configure this. And the branch settings, we can configure them for the branch accounting system. But as we are not doing the branch accounting, we do not have to configure this only. In the party type and the party, we have to select the party type, like if we are doing a payment to our customer or something like that, we have to select the party type, the customer and the other parties, or in the party we have to name the customer. Okay, so now we will click on this right tick to save and this log button to permanently submit our journal entry. Give the confirmation to yes, and here our journal entry is saved successfully. Now let's go to view option in the corner to see the effects of this journal entry. So we will click the ledger and here we can see the effects of this journal entry is on cash account, Mr. A's capital account and Mr. B's capital account. These are both credited by 5 lakh rupees and this cash account is debited by 10 lakh rupees. Now we will just go back to the home and let's see the transaction number 2 in our case study. In transaction 2, Mr. A brings some additional capital into the business. As we have already set up the master, this transaction would be a piece of cake for us. Let's quickly pass this entry. First, we will press Ctrl G and then we will search journal entry list and then click on journal entry list. And here we can see the entry we have already passed is showing. Now we will click on this plus icon to add another entry. Here in the account, no, first we have to select the entry type. So we will select it as cash entry. And here in the account, we will select Mr. A's capital, enter the amount in the credit side, which is 1 lakh, and in the cash account we will write 1 lakh again. Then we will click on this tick to save and the lock button to permanently submit this transaction. Give our confirmation, and here the entry is passed in the books of accounts. Now let's check our third transaction. Our third transaction is Mr. A deposited 5 lakh to State Bank of India. Okay. So now let's just add our third entry also. So our third entry involves a bank account which is State Bank of India. So we have to check in the chart of accounts whether we have State Bank of India in the chart of accounts or not. So let's open the chart of accounts. Click on expand all. Here we can also see the entries we have passed has also seen effect in the chart of accounts also. Now we can see we have a bank account which has name accu360, which we have configured in the time of the creation of the company. Now we will just change the name of this ledger only. So let's click on edit and then update name and account number, and here we will write State Bank of India. Then click on update, then click on this right tick to save, and then we have to go to the chart of accounts, and as we modified we should reload this. Now let's go back to home and open our next journal entry. Now click on this add button to add another journal entry, and in the entry type we will select this time the contra entry. Please note that the user must have basic knowledge of accounting to understand the contra entry. Then we select the bank account, which is the State Bank of India. Here we will add debit amount of 5 lakh, and in cash the credit amount is entered by default. Now we will click on this right tick to save, and again the lock button to permanently submit our transaction. Give the confirmation to yes, and there our journal entry has been passed in our books of accounts. Now we can view ledger to see the effects of this journal entry. So here you can see the cash account is credited, which is minus by 5 lakh rupees, and the State Bank of India is debited by 5 lakh rupees. The voucher applied on this transaction is this, and that's it. Now just click here to go back to home. So that's it for today's video. I hope you liked the video. Stay tuned with our Basics of Accounting with accu360 ERP series to learn more about the basic setup of your accu360 ERP to improve the efficiency of your organization. Thanks a lot for watching.